Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this. Market Outlook reveals XRP has begun its melting phase, a shed before the pump. So what Greg is saying is we are now entering the face melting phase, but I don't think we're quite there yet. He's calling for price points between $11 to $13, followed by $23 to $27, and even possibly $100 plus for XRP. Here's the way I look at it. The longer we go sideways, the higher we're going to go when that parabolic run begins. And everybody is talking about pressure building for XRP right now. But when is it going to happen? Everybody's trying to time the breakout, but I don't think you could time it this time around. And Elon Musk says, just press the switch. And you see, fix everything, easily switch. Why all of a sudden is he talking about switches? Everybody's trying to tie X money to Ripple. And then Elon says this. Whenever you talk about a flip of the switch moment, it's always associated with XRP. So is he giving us a hint that Ripple will be tied to X money? Nobody really knows. It's still speculation still. But no matter how you look at this, if you look at all the ties between Ripple and X and so on, it's all just one massive network that's been building out over the past decade. Ripple plus DXC officially launched crypto plugin for banks. Banks can now use XRP instantly. DXC technology has partnered with Ripple to integrate XRP and RLUSD directly into its HODLing core banking platform, software already used by major banks worldwide. This is the switches. Whenever you see articles like this and connections that are being made like this is just one switch after another. Brad said it's 1,000 switches, but one of them will eventually send XRP to the moon. If I put in $100 into XRP, I'd have $450 million now. Here's why it won't be so straightforward. This article is actually a great article. One day, when XRP hits the moon, people will post, if I put $100 in XRP in 2013, I'd have $450 million now. No, if you bought $100 worth of XRP and watched it pump to $3.84 in 2018 and then did nothing, then watched it pump and crash 90% to pennies, then you would have made it to $450 million. Where she got this from is Da Vinci Jeremy. He says, if I put $100 in Bitcoin in 2010, I'd have $730 million now. No, if you bought $100 of Bitcoin in 2010 and watched it go from 1K to 40K to 290K and did nothing, then watch 290K go to 26.3K and still did nothing. Then watch 26.3K go to $2.5 million and still did nothing, and so on. What they're pointing out is people always say if I put X amount of money into XRP, I'd have X amount today. But along the way, you had to sit back and do nothing. People don't realize that's the most important part of all of this. And you have to have the stomach for it. You have to be able to watch your portfolio rise to specific price points, like when XRP was sitting at $3.40. You had to be able to sit there, look at your portfolio, watch it drop to where it is today, and not sell. as it continued to gradually grind down in price. Because if you can do that, you will still be holding when XRP crosses the finish line. There's going to be a day where XRP hits $1,000. Most people will be out way before that happens. Most people will have sold on the way up, just like they did on the way down. It takes a lot to get to these price points, is what they're telling you. And you have to be able to make it through all of it. Analyst predicts XRP price rally to $50. Here's the timeline. Like I said, you cannot time XRP. They're saying XRP $50 before the end of the year looks realistic. And honestly, I would agree with that because the chart looks really bullish. It looks like it's ready for a major move upward. When is it going to happen, though? I still believe that it's going to come out of nowhere without any type of catalyst. I think we're just going to wake up one morning and all of a sudden you're going to look at the price of XRP and it's going to be sitting above $10. And then it's going to continue upward from there while everybody is saying that the top is in. Using crypto as collateral without selling is going to change everything. Take a listen to this from Uphold.
But look for that in about, let's say, mid-March timelines. Don't hold me to that exact timeline, but we will make a lot of noise when this is open.
Yeah.
The way it will work is you can go into Uphold, you can deposit your collateral, and you can do two things. One, you get a Visa credit card. That Visa credit card allows you to spend anywhere that Visa is accepted, and that each swipe opens up a fixed rate loan. So you have your Bitcoin as collateral, you swipe your card, you buy a television, and you can then choose to repay that over 8 payment terms and never sell your crypto because you can pay with your fiat, you can pay with other sources.
That's going to be everything in the future. Being able to buy things without selling your crypto. I see people already saying, well, there's interest on that loan. Well, of course, if anybody's going to lend you money, they're going to want interest back on that money. But what they're telling you is you're going to be able to borrow against your crypto without selling it. And the good thing about that is you avoid the taxes on your crypto, the capital gains. But this is, a lot of people are just going to be doing this, and they're going to be so used to doing this in the future. The problem also is whenever you borrow against your crypto, if it drops to a specific price level, you could also get liquidated. I think we're too early with borrowing against your XRP still. I want to see better options pop up in the future. And that will come as XRP starts hitting higher and higher price points as well. Because let's say XRP went to 3 digits and you want to borrow $3,000. You would only have to put up maybe 30 or 40 XRP to do that. It's going to be a lot easier. And that's why I think more people will be doing it at higher prices than doing it where we are sitting at right now. XRP price exits oversold region as Bollinger Bands signal the next stop. And even this article, they're talking about the pressure building for XRP. Everybody is talking about a breakout happening from where we are right now. I still see a lot of people saying we're going to pull back below $1 before we go parabolic. I'm not so sure that's going to happen. I mean, even with the conflict going on overseas right now in Iran, it's not really affecting crypto like it did just a few months ago. I think it's going to take something pretty drastic to really send the price of XRP under $1. Brad Garlinghouse reveals massive potential for Ripple. Take a listen to this. He's talking about $14 trillion in treasury flows coming between RLUSD and XRP.
So how does XRP fit into those acquisitions? I'd like to hear a little bit about that. And then Monica,
What gaps remain now, and how are you looking to close those gaps in the product suite?
Yeah. I'll take the first part and then hand it to Monica. Look, I say this, and I keep saying it, I'm going to keep saying it. XRP is the North Star of what Ripple's doing. We care more about what's going on in XRP than anybody else. There's obviously a lot of people who care, but we care more than anybody else. That will remain the case. Sometimes you'll see Ripple do something, and you'll be like, oh, I see a direct line between they did this, positive outcome around XRP, there's a direct line. Sometimes even people inside the company are like, hey, I don't get it. I promise you that when we do something over here, it may have 1 hop or 2 hops or 3 hops, but we're doing it because we think it's going to drive an outcome in the XRP ecosystem. So if we use these 2 recent, the bigger acquisitions we made last year, a company called Hidden Road in the prime brokerage services business, and then the second, a company called G Treasury, which has a sizable and growing office here in Sydney. I should mention that because I don't know if anybody were here, but kudos to that team. Both of them are a little bit different than how other crypto companies approached it because they don't do crypto. Right? G Treasury is last year processed about $14 trillion of payment flows. Do you know how many of those went through crypto or stablecoins? 0. And that's the opportunity. And I promise you, we're not going to go force. They have over 1,000 corporates ranging from kind of mid-sized corporates all the way up to the Fortune 50. We're not going to go force Ripple payments on top of those customers. We're not going to go force Ripple custody on top of those. We're not going to force RLUSD. But we're going to start to introduce it. And we're going to have to start to point out, hey, you're holding these deposits in whatever bank in whatever country, and they're getting 0 yield. You could hold those in RLUSD, and that would be a better outcome. Hey, did you know you could use XRP for your payment flows? And I'll tell you that the cultural fit of on both these acquisitions, of them understanding the North Star, they are bought in. They see how they can be a catalyst in transitioning a bunch of legacy, kind of boring, fuddy-duddy corporates into this future of financial infrastructure. So I truly, deeply believe there will be robust opportunities in being the bridge between traditional finance and decentralized finance. I love this banner over here. Built for finance, trusted by institutions, XRP.
So think about if $14 trillion in treasury flows eventually move through RLUSD and XRP. If that was to happen, that's your 3-digit XRP. So you see, $228.64 per XRP. That's with the circulating supply. With the fully diluted supply of 100 billion XRP, you're still looking at a $140 XRP. And even RLUSD, it's going to need a bridge in a lot of places. People don't realize that. RLUSD is gaining momentum, but it's the gateway drug to XRP in the end. And everything that Ripple's been doing, it all flows back to XRP somehow, some way. And that's what Brad just pointed out. Flare is basically the Codius Ripple always wanted. A smart contract platform designed to bring programmability to multiple chains, unlock real utility for assets like XRP. No wonder Ripple were early investors into Flare. Flare could be Ripple's Codius. And they abandoned Codius years ago because of smart contracts. And Flare, it just keeps adding more utility to XRP. It's also locking away a lot of XRP, taking it out of circulation at the same time. Flare's price does not reflect Flare's actual value. I could tell you that right now. It dipped well under a penny recently. If you're not stacking at least 10,000 Flare at this point, you are going to regret it later. Flare is going to emerge as one of the biggest monsters in this space. Stablecoins and the rebasement of the dollar. I really like this because right now everybody's talking about the debasement trade. And that's where Bitcoin would come in. Put all your money into Bitcoin, get out of the US dollar. But what about the rebasement trade, where you're adding strength to the US dollar? And I think they're doing that through stablecoins right now. They're taking the US dollar into countries that never had access to the US dollar before. And if you're going to be moving that stablecoin from the US to those countries, you're still going to need some sort of bridge. And that's where XRP would come in. But it's all about tokenization as well. They want to tokenize the stock market right now. Why? Because it opens up investors from everywhere, all throughout the world. And they're doing the same thing with stablecoins. They want to take, because people are pushing away from the US dollar now. Countries are dumping US dollars. So now they got to open up a whole new line of investors in the US dollar. That's why stablecoins are so important. But every single stablecoin eventually needs a bridge. We're holding that bridge. And that's why, as you see momentum pick up around the world over the next couple of months, couple of years, you're going to start to really see this impact the price of XRP. And then you start putting tokenization on top of XRP. You start putting other assets of major value. I'm talking like tokenized gold and so on. XRP is going to move all of that. As it keeps coming on chain onto the XRP ledger, it's got to push up the price of XRP at the same time. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.